Hi, AJ and Jen McGonis here from Manchester by the Sea. We're in Gloucester, Massachusetts, checking out a potential flip today. The address is 380 Washington Street. Looking across the street, we're just out in the Mill River, and that's going to flow out into the Atlantic Ocean. Come on inside, let's take a look around and see what we can do with this place.
All right, we're following AJ into this flip right now. We see a lot of shingles on the side that either need replacing or some serious work to be done.
So the first room we walk into is the yellow kitchen. And in the old days, they didn't have a lot of counters, so that's probably our biggest question, is how we could get counters in this space. I think if we were to take out these windows, they need to be replaced anyways. They're the old weight and rope windows. We'd probably put some half-size windows so that we could get a counter the length of this wall over here. Then potentially, what do you think, Jen? We could put an island in this spot.
Yep, perfect.
Maybe a couple stools here, and then.
And we're working with a tricky layout here because we've got a pantry, we've got a chimney right behind the stove, and two windows here. And we're also working with the placement of radiators. Basement stairs are directly behind AJ, so that throws another loop into our plans here.
The dark, dank basement, right. So there's this little nook over here. Again, we're talking old school kitchen, sink. It works.
It works, but it's not exactly
about
habitable.
This size. It's just a little bigger than my arm span. So Jen, what do you think we could do with this space?
One of the things we were thinking about is that we could pop some French doors into the back wall here and then make this into a little eating nook because you wouldn't have space for a table in the kitchen. All right, AJ, let's walk into the living room.
Wow, look at these hardwood floors. I bet they would refinish
beautifully,
and shine really nicely. So we'll need new windows. Ceiling looks great. Some paint.
We need some new drywall over by where the chimney is.
And refinish the floors. And I think we have a good sized room here. Then we have this very interesting room.
And very awkward.
At some point was a sun porch or a three-season porch.
We're missing a lot of windows here. We've got some pretty grody tile and drywall. But once the windows are in, I think we'll have an incredibly bright room.
Now, aside from the little kitchen nook that we mentioned, this house doesn't have a dining room. So our thought was perhaps this could be an area for a dining room table, perhaps tile floor. Maybe we could get hardwood or a laminate type flooring out here. But this has a good long room. It'd be wonderful to have a table, maybe open it up a little bit so there's a little bit more space, more light shining into the rest of the house. And of course, new windows.
And in this space, you could easily fit a table that would fit at least 8 people. Okay, let's move on upstairs. One of the great things about this house is that there are 2 staircases. The front staircase here with this fantastic wallpaper it has loads of character, with some great stairs. You see a lot of stairs like this in New England. And so let's walk upstairs right now. I just lost my partner in crime. He ran out to check on the kids. And up here we have some very old school floors that will need refinishing, will need paint taken off. Okay, and here is my partner right now.
Going into the first bedroom.
Okay, so this bedroom will be the master bedroom. It is definitely the biggest one of the space, but as you can see, we have loads of damage from water or just over time. And it is painted wallpaper, which I am just peeling off as we speak. So every window needs to be replaced. We also have, if you come out here, AJ, we've got the closet right here. This is the closet for the master bedroom. So it's a decent size, but it's a little awkward that it's right in the hallway here. So if you come through here, the reason this house has 2 staircases is because you would have to walk through bedrooms to get to another one. And so we'll go in this one first. This is the second biggest bedroom here. It's got some pretty fantastic stick-on tiles, but we've checked underneath and they have the original hardwood floors there, which we might want to either refinish if it looks like that's a possibility that they would be looking good, or do something over them. Also new windows.
Jen, something else I've noticed, look at this.
Yes. So we need some electrical work in
So
this
the house
house.
has two-prong outlets, which means there is ungrounded wiring. And also, if you look around too, this is the only outlet in the bedroom. So, hence the power strip.
Yep.
So we'll have to look in the basement, but electrical is definitely something that we're going to have to look into. Maybe get a couple more outlets in this room.
Yep, absolutely.
So if we go into this room,
Great, let's just get this light. So we're seeing some fabulous water damage right over here.
but this room has heat. There is no closet. So in Massachusetts, we don't call it a bedroom. This would be the extra room. This could be a nursery without the closet, but there is heat. So we had some ideas for this room. Jen, what did we finally decide?
One of the things that we were thinking is that this could be the spot for the bathroom, because it is right over where the sink is downstairs. Remember that weird little area that we were going to use as the breakfast nook? So we were thinking we could easily do a dormer up here to add some light into this space, since it doesn't have a bathroom, or since it doesn't have a closet. So we would do a configuration with a tub, a good-sized vanity, and a sink, because this is, and toilet obviously, because this is easily a decent amount of space to fit a good-sized bathroom.
Then if we
And
go,
so what we were also thinking is doing a door right here to make this bedroom here, which is very tiny, into a better size bedroom. So if you come in here, this also doesn't have a closet, but because if we bumped out here, there would be space to add a small one in here. So I'm going to take the camera and we'll follow AJ next.
one question we had was the flooring. And in these old houses, you really never know what you're going to get. But if you pull up the linoleum, there's actually a little bit of paper below. We were pleasantly surprised that there's pine wood flooring down here. And it doesn't even look like it's been touched. So we're really excited. This is a great find. Potentially, that's going to be under all of the flooring up here if it's in this hallway and in this little room. So that's a great find. We don't have to worry about it.
So here's the second staircase. This is what is coming down off of the kitchen and off of where a very awkward little bathroom is. So if we were to do this reno, it would turn into 2 full bath reno.
So right now, this is the only bathroom in the house, and it's off the kitchen. Again, like very common for the time period. It does have a stand-up shower, an odd-sized tub, and then, of course, the sink and the toilet. So it's definitely a great idea to try to keep the first floor bath, or at least a half bath. So I think that's something we can work with. Probably some minor stuff there, the floor, the walls, brighten it up a little bit.
Yep, absolutely.
So again, back this way, we come right back into the kitchen. If you come down the stairs and go the other direction, there's what I call the woodshed, and
It has a slanted floor.
it's built on